Hey, hi, hello, what is up, what is good? We are reading a new chapter of Boku no Hero Academia. Actually, we have two new chapters to read. We're a little bit behind. Starting with 267. It's another awesome kind of Western comic type homage with the formatting and the inclusion of a barcode, which of course makes no sense for an insert color page deep within the actual magazine that is sold. And also the Jump Comics imprint on the top left is something that Marvel and DC and others used to do all the time. Probably still do. Yeah, I think this is fantastic. I love whenever they do this. They really lean into the Western hero type aesthetics and kind of tropes that they both pay homage to and reinvent in new shonen styles. Excellent. Here we have our bunny hero, whose name is like Mirin or something? Ugh, I don't know. Sorry, I completely forget. And her arm is quite augmented and perhaps mostly artificial. After she, oh, excuse me, staunched the bleeding of her detached arm during the fight in the hospital. I don't know if this is like a preview of her future character design or something, but I like the gigantic aesthetic juxtaposition between her arm, which is kind of makeshift with all these belts and chains and fasteners, and then the rest of her suit, which is like very sleek and modern and pristine. Cool. Okay, let's get into it. I gotta pick something and be fire. Even my fierce wings can burn. I love the crowd of people shrieking for Hawks. Before a villain can use it, I strike. Ooh. So this is where he got totally caught off guard. He was too emotionally caught up in his fight against Twice. Wait a minute. Do I have the audio desynced still? No, I don't. Okay, good. Sorry, I just suddenly thought of that. But yeah, he was too emotionally caught up in dealing with Twice, and then suddenly this surprise attack from Dabi, scorching him before he had any chance to retaliate. This is a pretty unnerving premonition that Tokoyami is remembering this at this time. That it seems like Hawks is doomed to lose this fight. But perhaps the Fataxi, which is loaded up with students, can make its way there fast enough to help out. I'm not really sure. Oh, they're actually retreating. They're now meeting up with the rear guard, having kind of performed their major feats in this battle. They did well. You struck first with your wide-range quirk. You rattled the enemy good. Now it's time for the net to close in so we can crush them little by little. At this point, your attacks would only hit our allies and trip them up. Ah. They're big AoE fighters. And now that they kind of have the upper hand, just general AoE blasting might do more harm than good. Makes sense. Everyone loved the fat taxi. Just grinning. Only Tokoyami seems a little concerned. Oh, I love this. Like, we've saw this explosion a couple different times already, right? And it had this effect that it felt like it was being seen all over the battlefield, that it was this kind of heraldic moment that everyone took notice of. And now that that's already been established, all they need is just this small amount of like codification. They just need this abstract shot of the explosion. And we know what he's looking at. We know the significance of what he noticed. And somehow we feel like even he knows the significance. Thinking about the fire weakness, seeing this explosion, I think he realizes that Hawks might be in dire, dire trouble. You killed him. How could you? Things keep getting hotter. How dare you? Kill Twice like that. Ooh, jeez. Dabi gets his own Shigaraki Tomura type close-up here with the unnerving, hyper-realistic grin. Is that the face of a man who just watched a friend die? I mean, first off, I'm gonna be a little surprised if Twice is Dead? I don't know. He was becoming kind of incorporeal. He was losing sense of himself. I don't know. It would be kind of interesting the way they've kind of hyped him up now as this unassuming nuke that you may not have realized, but if you kind of follow the logical conclusion of his powers, he's actually absurdly strong. And that would be kind of an elegant way to write him out of the story, I suppose, is just in this moment of realization. That realization itself puts him into this kind of trapped state in which he cannot continue existing as he has. But then again, I still feel like his potential as this kind of, excuse me, ultimate weapon. Oh, I've got some gas. I ate a bunch of sushi just a second ago. Anyways, I don't know. It's brutal though that Dabi is laying into the idea that Hawks straight up killed him. This is entirely his fault and his responsibility, and that he's giddy with the fact that he can both take down one of the strongest heroes around right now and rub it in, make him feel personally responsible for this atrocity at the exact same time. Like that he wins not just the actual fighting victory, but this eternal moral victory that he can just triumphantly lord this over Hawks the entire time. I haven't cried at all since my tear ducts got all burned. Twice around, my dream had a way better chance of coming true. So of course I'm sad he's gone. So sad. Ooh. You in the league, I looked into your backgrounds, but I came up with nothing on you and Shigaraki. Only you two. So we know Shigaraki's backstory. It makes sense that he kind of just disappeared out of the grid, out of the system, and became kind of a nameless, stateless, identityless person that was then scooped up, of course, by All For One. But what's up with Dabi? I've heard the theory many times before that he's actually the dead brother of Todoroki, or the suspected dead brother, left for dead, another failed experiment in making this ultimate quirk hybrid, who probably burned himself to such a severe degree that he was presumed dead and then maybe abducted from the hospital by some villainous mentor, or maybe just on his own, he managed to suture himself up. I don't know. It's going to be a disturbing, sad story no matter what. I kind of like that theory, though. It's just like another pretty interesting twist, even if everybody saw it coming. Anything that just kind of weaves the story tighter together, makes connections that we didn't see before, I think can really, I don't know, it lends like a weight to everything, that everything has these cascading implications that, you know, eventually maybe we'll get a Todoroki versus Dabi fight, and then the emotional weight of that will be so much more because of this little twist. So I don't know, are we going to actually delve into it now? Is Dabi going to tell his sad story just to make Hawks feel even worse at the moment of his death? Takami. Ooh. This is Hawks' real name, which Dabi knew, which freaked Hawks out. And at first I was like, is that really so rare? Because it seems like most people, even though they have hero names, are also fairly known as just the people they actually are. It's not like they have secret identities so much. They just sort of live in two different modes, and the hero name distinguishes those modes. So, say goodbye to your name. You're about to enter a special program to become a very special hero, okay? Training will be rough. You can handle it. So Dabi, the fact that Dabi also knows Hawks' name, were they perhaps in this kind of hero acceleration, hero from childhood type program? I don't think it's real. They test them during the day like this sometimes. I don't know if you can hear that. My fire alarm is going off. If by the end of this chapter it's still going off, I'll probably go outside. But it's raining a lot outside too. I think it's fine. Anyways, so here's my theory already, is that Dabi is enrolled by Endeavor into the same program. given that he has like the most aptitude with his fire type quirk of all the siblings so far. We have like a yeah, it's fun. We have this connection here that Hawks is holding an Endeavor doll already, and maybe this is why like Dabi takes note of him and remembers his name after all these years. This also kind of gives some character background already on Hawks. Like we know that he's the hero famous for wanting to take it easy. He wants a strong system of heroics and to destroy crime such that people can live easygoing lives. And I feel like having this brutal training in childhood, where his entire goal in working hard might have been like escaping the regiment he was put in, contributes quite a lot to that. I don't know. Could be some more. Let's see. Can I be like him? Can I be a hero who beats the bad guys? Just like how I was saved. Can I be a shining light for everyone? The fact that he's so weak to fire, and yet he loves Endeavor too. That Endeavor was his childhood hero. I don't know, there's like all these little complexes in his character. Even though he seems so cool and aloof and easygoing, that there's actually so much kind of on the verge behind the scenes. Really interesting character. I really like Hawks. Who are you? Whoa, this is quite the technique. Wow, just the black speech bubble. That's a rare one. In fact, I can't really think of any precedent for, you know, sometimes you'll have like a sound effect obscuring it. Sometimes you'll have even like the scenery super imposes over the speech bubbles and like a real diegesis destroying moment, preventing you from seeing what was being said. Sometimes it'll just have an obscured text bubble, but it'll be like murmur, murmur, or whatever. Here, though, the fact that the speech bubble is entirely black, it's like the reader just is not ready for this truth. It's like censored for our own benefit, that it would be too traumatizing for us to hear what Dabi says here. And that's the feeling I'm getting. It's a very kind of creepy, haunting thing, just this sudden void on the page. I like it. I like it. Ooh, and I love this more than twice, more than anyone. You should have been keeping both eyes on me. I love this idea of the ambiguity of the power levels in the League of Villains. Like this whole thing that I've been going on and on about, the twice being this like secret nuke that he actually possessed, and that it was there for us to see, but that we might not have connected the dots. That he actually has this insane potential in his power level. That Dabi is even more of like a super secret weapon. That Dabi is even stronger, and it's like so unexpected because, you know, even more than twice admittedly has like a very weird power, a power that kind of sparks the imagination. Dabi is just fire guy. Everybody's got a fire guy. Pro heroes have a fire guy. Class 1A has a fire guy. You're just like, okay, it's the fire guy. They've got a bad guy who's a fire guy. For that character role to end up actually being one of the most powerful villains in their league, if not maybe even the most powerful, ooh, that's like a cool twist. I don't know. It just levels up the level of engagement you expect to ought to have in every character that's introduced, in every kind of direction the story could potentially take. It's so exciting. Should have been keeping both eyes on me. The League? Shigaraki? I never gave a crap about them. A single person with a single conviction has the power to change the world. Ooh, there are no true heroes. I plan to make Stan's will a reality. Or Stains. Sorry, Stan? Stains. He's a Stain Stan. This again is like another amazing subversion because they already have Spinner, and Spinner is the big Stain fanboy and dresses like Stain and goes on about Stain's mission and stuff. And again, it was a deception. You know, we were supposed to sort these people into nice fitting roles and kind of have a clear understanding of the hierarchy in our head, the ones that are, you know, leadership potential, the ones that are shaping this ideology, and then like the goons. You know, there is a clear split in my mind between those two. But now, one by one, the goons are proving themselves to have so much more potential than I realized. How strong is Dabi really? Ooh, it's so exciting. The other question this raises, which is, if not equally exciting, then also quite chilling, haha, if you'll pardon the pun, is that ice guy in the Liberation Army that Dabi was fighting to like a standstill also must be like absurdly strong, right? Unless Dabi was like holding back, he was like weighing his options and seeing who would win out in this fight, and he just planned on joining the winners or something like that. Maybe he's being strategic about it. But I'd like to think that that guy too, who again, you're very easy to dismiss as like a goon, just one of the sub bosses of the enemy. Oh, it's Ice Guy. Turns out to actually be much, much more powerful than you realized. I like that kind of stuff. Okay. Seahawks. Your life's another thing I don't care about. Oh my gosh. So, like, I wonder, are they gonna start killing off characters in this war? This sounds very grim, but it's a good opportunity because any character that you want to kill, it's very justifiable to have them killed. There's more than enough people here capable of doing it. You have to show them go out in like a blaze of glory. And it really gives some weight to the heaviness and the significance of this raid. At the same time, this series really doesn't kill off people. There was Night Eye, and that's about it. Like, I don't know. Like, it seems like it's more the Akira Oda school of thought, where you kill off characters as rarely as possible, so you have them as cards in your hand to reintroduce to the hype moments and to lend that gravity again. But I don't know, man. The series also doesn't like super convenient ass pulls. I mean, you know, it's a shonen series, so occasionally you get a little bit of ass pull, but how can Hawks be saved right now? Dabi's just like, okay, I'm going to burn you to death. And nobody else is there. And we know that Dabi is more than capable of doing it. Emotionally, powerfully, etc. Anyways, before we can find out exactly what happened, we cut back down to the underground bunker where Gigantomachia, another another person that's not too easy to dismiss as a goon, someone who's certainly up there with the overall power level of this entire fight, is just chilling. He's just chilling. Oh, and he's holding the tiny little radio that he used to hang around his neck that gives him instructions from Herr Doctor, who of course is not in any situation to be giving instructions right now, being caught up in this fight. And now we return to Bunny Girl versus the smart Nomus, the advanced Nomus. I'm landing hits anymore. It's not because they're wearing me down. I know my body better than anyone. But their eyes, it's like they're awake now. This is fun, but no choice. Oh, she'll have to use that. She's got a that too, huh? I'm always down for a good that. Oh, she just ran off. So her plan, yeah, and this is, I'm surprised, not her plan from the start, was just to take down the doctor and take down Shigaraki, who's still kind of in stasis in his cryogenics tube thing. The fact that she was fighting the Nomus in the first place seems like a bad idea. This panel here is brutal. Something about like the total black background, everything kind of silhouetted, the ripping her hair off, chunks of her flesh. That's, I don't know, it's intense. There's a certain brutality to this fight that's quite unnerving, and it feels worse because, you know, this is kind of like a new hero that we're getting to see. Sure, she was hyped up a bit before. She showed up in the hero rankings chapter, but this is the first time we're really seeing her in action. And as I pointed out before, she has kind of this feeling of like pristineness to her, that she's a hero that you would always see like sparkling and smiling on the nightly news. And so we know, just from kind of inferring her personality, that this fight is well outside what she's accustomed to. Gonna die, get the job done first. Mirko. What did I call her? Mirin or something? I was close. Okay. The doctor blasting out both eyes at a torrent of sparkling snot. Oh, she jumps forward, but this Nomu has hooked her. Not done yet, because a hero never, ever. Whoa, let's go. All right, let's go. Gives up. All right, okay. So, Tokiyami, sorry, shows up to save Hawks, as I kind of expected he would. And this is kind of in the league of ass pulls you would expect, I guess. But that's going to be a really bad matchup for him, too. I think they both have kind of a fire weakness. Dark Shadow is repulsed by all types of light, including the light from, gigantic blasts of fire. I don't know. And he's certainly outmatched just from a normal power level perspective. It's just a second-year student versus this deranged lunatic villain with an entire lifetime of tortured training and who knows what. I don't know if he was in that program with Hawks too. That's my suspicion. Meanwhile, over here we have Endeavor flame punching down the Nomu. And it looks like Mirko is about to get a big kick in on Shigereki's stasis chamber. So I was wondering about this, like, there's no way they're just gonna grab Shigereki's lifeless body and throw it in prison, right? Like, there's no way they're getting around the inevitable Shigereki fight. So I wonder if this is going to be one of those things where it's like, oh, he's only at 80% of the power that he ought to have, because the thing got blown up before he was done. And that way they can fight him, they can still be like overwhelmed at how strong he is, and it keeps it on the table, it keeps it in our minds. It's like, oh, he's going to get even stronger if they don't finish this now, if they let the doctor kind of reestablish this lab, etc. That's what I'm guessing. I think it's going to be that sort of thing. He's awake. Ah, it's well before he was ready. Doctor, I'm ready. That's what his voice sounds like in my head. Okay, let's read the next chapter. I'm excited for it. 268. See you tomorrow.